Sabren, welcome once again to this series of presentations on the Ren language. This third lesson will be discussing the different vowel sounds in the Ren, as well as how they become diacritics, and an important aspect of the language called pharyngalization. Let's get started. Here, once again, is the Ren Abugida. When we saw it before, in passing I called it an alphabet. I didn't go exactly into what an Abugida is, and why it isn't an alphabet. And the answer to that ties into, well, if you look at the vowels, they have a very different shape from the consonants. The reason for that is that they aren't actually letters, they are diacritics. They do not stand as letters on their own, but they go over top of consonants. There's an example here if you look at the title. There is the consonant ra, with an e diacritic for the syllable ri, and then a consonant ta, with an e diacritic for the syllable te. Altogether, it says rite. The word for vowel in Ren is va, which can also mean someone's voice. There are 6 basic vowels, all of which should be relatively easy to pronounce. They are a as in cat, e as in seat, o similar to road, u as in zoo, a as in but, and e as in said. Notice that these also look similar and are written so that they either loop around a consonant in the case of a and e, or through a consonant in the case of u and u, or else they sit on top of a consonant in the case of e. If a consonant does not have any vowel on it, then it is assumed that its vowel is a, or if the consonant is at the end of a syllable, then it has no vowel at all. Now in this slide, at last, we are introduced to tej, which literally means a crown. This sound, this diacritic, the vowel e, has a special name in Ren because it always signifies something that is important to the philosophy. One will notice it on the word Ren itself, Dev, the language, and on Rite, the script. If there is a tej in the word, then stress is always upon that syllable, and furthermore, it never appears with another vowel in a diacritic, which we will learn about now. Diacritics in Ren are called esova, and there are 5 of them: ya, yo, yo, o, and ao. I'll pronounce them for you again with a consonant in front, and pay particular attention to how the first 3 slightly change the sound of the consonant. This is the palatalization referred to on the slide. Pia, pio, pio, po, pao. So, these diacritics are formed simply from writing 2 vowels on top of the consonant, and to remember how it is pronounced, for instance, that it is always pronounced ya and not I, remember that there is a specific order of vowel strength in Ren, and the strongest vowel is always pronounced first. There is one more thing that we can do to vowels, and that is pharyngalization. In the grammar text, it is referred to as Suprasegmantal H, but as Ren speakers, we will call it diara, which literally means a circle. Notice how it is written here in Rite, in the title. We have the consonant d with its gulmat. On it are the vowels e and a, giving it the diacritic ya. After that, we have the consonant ra and the vowel a, but on the first syllable we have a little circle. The circle here is one of the very few exceptions in the Ren language, as it is here entirely for artistic reasons. It is thought if a word means circle diacritic, then it should at least have one. In normal writing, however, what it does is it modifies the vowel in some way. My recommended way of pronouncing it is a pharyngalization. We pull the root of our tongue back to pronounce the vowel that it is written with, and letting it end with a breathy voice. So a becomes ah, e becomes ich, u becomes uf, and o becomes oh. These are the only vowels that can take diara. Diacritics do not take it, and neither does tej. In most cases, a syllable with diara takes the stress of the word. This is why it is important, however one chooses to pronounce it, that it is spoken with some extra length, extra stress. If pharyngalization is difficult or unnatural, some speakers may prefer to use tone instead, so that the vowel diara is said with has a higher or a lower tone. So the difference would be between abad, which means to close something, and abad, which means to be far away. The important thing, as it says in the slide, is that whatever method you choose to pronounce diara is that it's consistent and that it is different from how you would pronounce the vowel on its own. That is everything for this lesson on vowels. Thank you for watching and listening, and please do mention any questions you may have, any difficulties you may be having while you're learning. As always, I wish you all the best on your journey.